Hey G, aka Black Power Bunny, and this blog post about catfishing. Never thought I would have an experience with it, and I will use the word attempt because the idea is you should actually catch and trick someone. And yeah, I think this dude is new to the game. He's new to the game, and unfortunately, he also picked a picture that was familiar. The world is not as big as we think it is. It really isn't. The world is not that bloody big, and it is not 6 degrees of separation. It is more like 2. So I know that there are people who feel the need to snatch someone else's face and pretend to be someone else, pretend to be agenda. They're just lies. I don't understand exactly what the end game is from that. And if you have an answer, by all means share. Because literally, I really don't understand. And I want to understand. You know, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. And if you don't love yourself, how could anyone else possibly love you? Thank you, RuPaul. But that's the truth, though. You gotta enjoy all of this before someone else could enjoy all of this. So what is the point of pretending to be someone else? And surely you know that there's gonna be a point in time where they're gonna want to talk to you face to face. So what do you do then? Just do a no-show? Like, what do you do? So earlier this month, I get a message from a dude, and the guy in the picture is handsome, and we'll post the picture here. The picture, the face looks familiar, and the thing about dating sites is, again, this DFW area, it ain't that damn big. So I have seen dudes from other sites on this dating site. I'm like, I know that face. No, I'm not even trying to talk to him because yeah. So again, the world is not that big. So the face looks familiar, but the picture itself, it just has a different kind of look. Now, I have been in front of the camera. I am also behind the camera. And we have done, you know, the print ads. We've done the magazine, whatever. So there's a certain look that comes with pictures depending on how they're going to be printed and used and so on and so forth. So I'm looking at this picture like this is just not the right picture. And the face is... that face... But you know, whatever. So we exchanged a couple of words. He's like, hey, you want to do coffee and tea? I'm like, yeah, sounds great. Let's set it up. Silence. Now, at first I thought, okay, well, that's typical. We've been having that like this whole entire time on this dating site. Dudes just like, you know, are flaky and flake out, whatever. So I was like, oh, whatever. But I could see like 2 days later on that Sunday that he's online. So I was like, hey, afternoon, how's it going? And he's like, well, you know, I'm bored, sitting here, doing nothing. And I was like, well, you could have scheduled our meet and greet that we talked about on Friday. You know, you wouldn't be bored. And he's like, oh, I just want to see you, hold you, love you. Excuse me? What? Now, this is when it goes from familiar face, extra glossy picture to that's beyond creepy. And now we have set up all these flares and red flags because that's not normal conversation. I don't care how flirtatious you are. That is by no means normal conversation. And surely you know that that's going to get some sort of But I don't think old dude knew this. I don't think he knew because I was like, yeah, that's a bit much for any stranger. Like, where's the coffee and tea? And he's like, oh, yeah, that coffee and tea, yeah. We can do a meeting and have something hot and brown. Oh, and coffee too. Okay. I appreciate, again, want to be cute, want to be coy, and all that. But there's a point where that gets really old, really fast. Because it's just odd. It's odd. So I said, you know what, what's your name, what's your number? It's Sunday, you're bored, we don't live that far from each other, let's get together now. Because in my gut, I'm thinking, you're fraud. I don't even have to know how I know the face, and I don't have to even acknowledge that your picture is extra glossy. Let's just go ahead and meet face to face. Let's just call it a day. Well, his name is G-Nay. I don't know. It was some weird unpronounceable type stuff that in itself, red flag there too. Red flag, all kinds of red flags. And then he goes missing. 2 hours later, it's like, hey, here's my number. Really, you want to get together? Okay, well now it's like 10:30 and it's raining cats and dogs outside. So no, we're not getting together. But I thought, okay, obviously we don't want to really meet up. We just want to kind of go through the motions, right? So I let a day go by because I'm trying to figure out, how do I get this guy to understand that I'm pulling his card, like your card's pulled? So I figured, let's go for the pumpkin thing, right? So I said, I just thought you were the adventurous, spontaneous type. You're so romantic and so giving and loving. Surprised you didn't show up Sunday. What happened there? Oh, well, I was busy. I didn't get your message until late, but we could have made out. Oh, really? Could we? Could we now? Oh, okay. So, I said, great, you know what? Since we missed that meeting, let's do this. Let's just do a video chat. What's your Gmail account? Now, for all of us who have Gmail, or for anybody who uses Google, Google will spill the beans on you just from having an email address. That's all you need. You don't need much to figure out who somebody is and where they are, because there's Google. So old dude says G Bunny, it's the name he gave me, and I was, I'll see you when I see you. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, all right, right. Now I did tell old boy that I was going out of town because I figured, when I get back we can meet, or before I leave we can meet. But when I schedule to get together, we'll figure something out. But all of a sudden, it's just, I'll see you when I see you. Yes. So I thought we understood where we were, but no, not the case. He decided after I shared with him that I thought he was a familiar face from my modeling days. Now, I modeled for 6 months in New York City. No lie. I'm just too damn lazy for that job. But 6 months, you're in the city, it's not that big, small little. I was like, it's just crazy how you look like this dude I worked with. And then lights went out. Didn't see the man for like weeks until I'm in New York City. And why? Because a friend of mine wanted to read his profile. Now, everybody knows you do like LinkedIn or like a dating site, it tells you when someone looked at your picture and who they are. So I was like, no, great. So he knows I looked at his picture, and then he decides, well, I'm gonna chat her up because she looked at my picture. Oh, okay. His message to me was very simple. I'm gonna spank you. Now, my friend is hot. He's like, what? He wrote what? Block him, da-da-da. I said, no. See, when people want to play with you, you just gotta get in the game, right? You gotta get in the game and just do your next one up. And I'm like, okay. Now we're on the subway. So when I get off the subway, I get a second message, are you still traveling? And I was like, yeah, I am still traveling. Now before I left, I asked him, I said, you ever been to New York City? No. And I said, hey, you look like this dude I know from New York. And so when he said, are you still traveling? I said, yeah, I'm in New York City right now. Lights out. Again. Now, I figured, obviously, he was picking up what I was putting down, so we should be done. You shouldn't say another thing to anybody who is telling you without telling you, I got your number. Like, it's over. It's done. In the midst of me feeling some kind of way, I figured let me use Google and let me search for his picture, because I have looked for my own picture since I was accused of trying to catfish somebody. And we'll call him Maryland. We're going to talk about Maryland in another blog post. Unicorn! Yeah, Maryland. So, I decided to look for my own picture, and wherever I posted my face, either my face or my still images, and side note, if you take somebody's work, at least give them credit, or email and say, hey, can I have the original so that the work isn't heavily pixelated on some other site. I digress. I'm sorry. But anyway, so I looked at my picture and I found my picture. Not a problem. When I looked for his picture, it wasn't anywhere to be found. Now, reasons why, I don't know. It doesn't matter. The face is familiar and it's too glossy to be a regular portrait. At the end of the day, I was like, the person I'm talking to is not this person. He did give a number, and I did have somebody call that number, and it is a guy, so, but I don't know if that's his number or some other random person. Like, who knows? It took him 2 hours to give me that number. So I don't know if he was looking for somebody or looking up something. I don't know. It doesn't make any difference. It makes no difference. So I thought, okay, this should be done, right? So today, he decides to pop up again. I don't know what it is about trying to get this to go through, but it's not working. So he sends another off the chain message, which is like his deal, and it says, "Kiss me." So I was like, you know what, I'm done. I thought we were clear that I am fully aware that you're not who you say you are, but obviously I gotta tell you for you to get it. So I just went on this nice little rampage that says, hey, honestly, I would think that if someone told you they know you're not the face that's in your profile, you would just like go away. Surely you would go away. I've already said it. I'm telling you now. I know you're not the face in this picture. And what do you get from it? Like, why do you even do it? Surely you gotta know that eventually you gotta be seen by the person. So what would you think happens when you say, hey, let's meet up, and the face in this picture doesn't show up? Like, is it really gonna work out for you? Really? Is it gonna work out for you? Probably not. Probably not. Now, I'm assuming, since he hasn't answered, and this is today, because I thought when I told him last time I was in New York with friends in the photography world, that he would just cease and desist. And he lay low for 2 weeks. And now he's back. So I'm telling him, hey, here's the deal. There may be a part 2. I don't think he's going to answer. I really don't. I think at this point he's probably recognizing she got me, and I'm gonna leave it be. If he decides to answer, I'm gonna let you guys know. But I don't think he's gonna answer because I've already said it. Like, this ain't you. Get over it. It's not you. I know it's not you. Move on. You want to play with somebody, there's tons of other folks to play with, and the people who believe in this kind of thing, who get caught up, I don't know exactly how they get caught up. I mean, me, I am an extra cautious person, so I'm always, you know, asking certain questions, looking at certain behaviors, and yeah, call me naive, just even like a little bit naive, but I don't understand how you can go like a month or weeks and never ask to see somebody face to face, never video chat, you never meet up, like, ever. That's odd. It's crazy and it's odd. But again, attempt. Now I will say this, we decided, CC wants to keep playing with me, this is weeks ago, to put his face on Twitter, put his face on Instagram. I put his face on G+. I'm putting his face here on YouTube. We're gonna get this face out there. And if I happen to meet the real guy behind this face, hey, you got a great face. Love it. If anything, this face will now be searchable. That I thoroughly enjoy. Alright, so stay tuned. We're gonna see what happens with this attempt to catfish Black Power Bunny. Not today, buddy. Not today. Not today, not tomorrow, not ever. Never